Back to the game. Whiskey Dingo versus Apples is another fucking ZVZ. Let's go. Let's go. We fucking appreciate the ZVZs here. Okay, let's. I want to see these two hobos fucking knife fight. It's great. Alright, hopping right into it in the top right corner as the Gray Zerg, we have Whiskey Dingo. In our first game of Group 10. And in the bottom right corner, we have Apples. Waffle tilde Apples as the yellow Zerg. And they can both be the yellow Zerg if we want. Yeah. This is the best name fight. So, we probably have a couple of spare moments before we get into before we get into like an actual game here. So again, if you're new here, thanks for stopping by. Thanks for the raid. Guys, let's choose those Zerg players. Again, these are games from the Coach. If you're not familiar with where these games are from, these are games from the Coach-Pupil League. Also, Jesus Christ, I'm realizing that I never changed the name of the stream over to the rest of these groups. We've just been casting Group 2 all day. But these are games from the Coach-Pupil League Preseason. And the Coach-Pupil League is like a foreign Brood War league for non-Korean Brood War league for players who are bad at the game to get put on teams with players who are better at the game. And it's like a team league where the goal is about like learning and getting better at the game. So yeah, if that interests you, you type in !CPL, you get a link to the Discord, and then you can sign up for the waiting list, because usually we have some people drop, and we need people to replace them. So both players kind of doing the same thing here, overpool and overpool. Although Waffle Apples squeezed in an extractor, while Whiskey Dingo is going straight for 2 bases, so it looks like we're going to have a 1 versus 2 base. Waffle Apples going straight for 3 Zerglings. So we're going to see an aggressive, I'll disagree about it. We're going to see aggressive openers here from these players. My Gosu. Yes. I think the rough bit breakdown is like if you're in S, the whole game. If you're in S rank, nah man, I'm C rank. See. Yeah, if the cause is you're in S rank or like super high A, you're probably too good to actually play. But if you are in the lower ranks, you can play. You can still be a coach, and that is always appreciated. Yeah, so it looks like Whiskey is probably going to get away with having their base up faster. And Waffles correctly isn't committing too hard to the Ling attack, and instead they're just, what the fuck is going on there? Jesus Christ. Well, this is fucking frightening. Jesus. Yeah, so this is not going in app. Well. Nope, no, yeah, it's not. What the fuck? What? Dude, honestly, God, watching Zergling fights, I feel like I can't be like, oh yeah, this player's in the league. Like, I should just roll dice and be like, alright, who's gonna win the next Zergling fight? Oh boy, it's gonna be Whiskey. I have no fucking idea. Shit just randomly happens. 2 Zerglings just run by each other. The rest are running straight for the main. Now the thing is, we have a sunken colony coming up in the main. We have the Spire already coming up. So, yeah, Waffles just needs to defend, and then they can get their Mutas out and win the game, right? And so they're trying to set up the Zerglings on the ramp, and I think they should just barely be able to set up that arc before Whiskey Dingo gets up here to harass. And now the thing is, I don't know what the fuck Whiskey Dingo does. No, they're going to try to push up, but I don't think that's enough to actually break this wall, especially with Zerglings reinforcing. And so, but the good thing is, forcing the Zerglings means that there will be less larva available for the Muta switch once the Mutas come out. And see, we still haven't started the lair here from Whiskey Dingo, which is bad. But Waffles is only on 7 drones. Whiskey Dingo getting 18 Zerglings in production, but again, like, they just have to hold this ramp, get Mutas out. Of course they're going Hydras. Where the fuck is that den? Let's fucking go. Okay. One base Muta. Why would you wait? Who tried to attack here? What happened? What did I miss? Did Waffles bust down, or did Dingo fail at busting up? That's more Zerglings there for Whiskey, and now they're actually going to be able to bust up in. And like, there's only 8 drones here, right? You get up here, you just start sniping drones. There's 8 Zerglings. Go kill drones. Prevent Waffles from mining. Yeah, 6 Zerglings coming out. 4 Hydras on the way for Dingo, and they're going to try to dive on the Sunken Colony, which they should be able to get. And they do actually barely get it. One Zergling alive, and it does get picked off. I think they probably could have just gone and circled around it and maybe picked off 1 or 2 drones, and that would have been more worth it. But here's the thing, they were opening up the path for the 18 other Zerglings, who are going to just run up in here and start sniping drones, and then the Hydras back at home will be able to deflect the like single-digit Mutas that are coming out. See, yep, drones, they're just right-clicked on them, down to 5 drones for Waffle. And they have the resources to rebuild, but not for Larva. And this looks like a one game for Dingo. Waffle says, okay, fine. And GG's out. And Whiskey Dingo GG's. Waffle leaves the game, and that is our first game of Group 10. That Hydra captured an acid thing in there. Alright. Let's cut over to here. Cut back to our splash screen. Change up. Add that score in. Whiskey Dingo got it 1-0 over Apples, and then our next game is going to be Rabbit Roo versus a Whiskey Dingo. So I think this actually is the name matchup. Yep, Dingo versus Roo. And this one is going to be a ZV Ped. Go ahead and start that stream. Start the game. Get loaded up in here. Finish the rest of my coffee. And in the top right corner, as the red Zerg, we have Whiskey Dingo. And in the bottom left corner, as the pink Protoss, we have Protospos. What is this? What? Protospos. This is, what is this? This name reads like someone who is drunk is trying to, I don't know what even they're trying to say, but it just reads like someone who is drunk just being like, it's a mix of Protoss and potatoes and alcohol, because it just looks like Protospos. Protospos. All right. But on the CPL in the replay, they were labeled as Protoss Apes. could be Protoss apes. They were labeled as Rabbit Roo. Protoss. So we have a Protoss name versus Whiskey Dingo. Whiskey Dingo going for Overpool. And Protoss who's going for the 10-12 gate. No, wait, no, this is 10-11 gate, technically. 10-10 gate? I don't know builds. I'm not good at this game. Somebody who's better at the game, correct me in the chat. Alright. Probe gets in, gets the scout, sees the pool first, which is good for them because if you're going for that 2-gate pressure, you want the hatchery to be as late as possible so that the Zerg doesn't have access to those extra larvas. Because like even if they go hatch first and then they get the spawning pool, like they'll have the spawning pool up in time to catch the zealot aggression, but if they go spawning pool first, the hatch isn't up in time to be able to build the Zerglings. And so we have our Protoss kind of probe going around, keeping the scout on the base. Yeah. Basic stuff here, and the probe dies like it does in all of my games because it's painful. Oh my god! Oh, no! What? What? How does that happen? What? You had one job. This is zealot right here. That happened because this fucking like what the hell? This like F-rank student of the Citadel of Adun did not attack when he could have, and the drone gets out. And so the thing is, right, like the pressure isn't being put on. Like we have these zealots being made, but like when's the attack? Are we just attacking at like a shitload of? Are we just attacking at like a shitload of Protoss? So they're going Forge. So here's the thing, right? Like Dingo knows what's coming, and so you just build a sunken colony. And then you have Zerglings, and then these 4 zealots with, again, that one like fucking shitty zealot. This is the worst zealot. This one shitty zealot who doesn't hit drones and doesn't move with the group. Like, yeah, you get a sunken up, and then everyone just gets shit on. So, I mean, Whiskey Dingo's in a fine position. I mean, they are gonna have to build more Zerglings to defend this, but like, that's fine. They have their expansion up. Protoss still doesn't have theirs up. The sunken colony is just slowly working through all the zealots. The Sim City here at the Natural is getting built. Just regular shit. Protoss is moving down to get their expansion, and now, yeah, Dingo. That's probably not a good move. Pylon going up. Another sunken colony put up just to defend this area. We'll probably see the Hydra Den put up at the front here as well pretty soon. And behind this, Whiskey Dingo's just macroing up. Just chilling, just vibing, just having a good time. Ooh, this is a really good star sense, being like, hey, let's make sure our opponent isn't scamming out a third base. Or, you know, just has the zealot there. Yeah, so this drone is going to get picked off. Meanwhile, yeah, that's going to be the Hydra Den. It's going to be Evolution Chamber. Never mind, I'm bad at this game. We have 2 cannons being put up at the front. And I have still... So we've gotten this far. 0 gas has been mined by our Protoss player. And we're on 12 probes. Which, feels like that's not supposed to happen. Ooh, and these zealots on hold position command, kind of one got surrounded and picked off. But now the reinforcements are coming. But again, having 2 sunken colonies here, there's just no way that the zealots alone can break this. Protoss is just getting photon cannons for... What? Why? Why is this? Why? Well, I guess we're going into Spires. Oh. So, yeah, Zergling's getting his rounds on the Zealot, picks one off, runs back to the wall here. 6 more sets of Lings in production. But again, like, this is just, it's not enough Zealots, right? Like, the Zealots clear up these, wait, do these have +1? They do not have +1. But they clear up the Zealots. There's still Sunken Colonies going up. 12 more, oh, never mind. I forgot Protoss has the amazing ability to just walk away. Yeah, I mean, this is what you do, right? And so, really, Protoss now has the scout of the main here, right? It's really hard for the Zerg to, like, contend with this. They're just got to keep building more Zerglings, and I think that's enough Zerglings to end this rush here. But they forced a lot of Zerglings, which is what you want to do. Now, if you had been mining gas, you could have had +1, and then you would trade even more Zerglings. But it's fine. You have cannons up with nothing to block them, and you only have, 4 cannons and a shitload of Zerglings on the way over to fight. It's no big deal. There's no big deal. It's fine. Hey, look at that. It's fine. It's fine. Catching up worker counts are, I mean, we're 7 minutes into a game. This is solid stuff. Yeah, I don't know. Protoss has their second base up. So whether it is limping, bloody, and bruised, we're getting into that mid-game PVZ. Spore Colony going up a little prematurely since the Stargate is only just now starting. But Rue kind of is like, yep, there's a Spore, I didn't see a Hydra Den, we gotta throw up those cannons. That's pretty, that you just do that, right? Against Mutalisks. Whiskey Dingo actually has been supply blocked for a little bit here. These games are actually usually more fun to watch than the pro stuff for me. Definitely because you see, like, weird shit. I would highly recommend going back in this VOD and watching some of our earlier TVZs because, those got funky in, like, the best way. And then this is just, like, this is a position. I understand why we're in this position for both players because, like, that aggression went out, we kind of traded blows on both sides or whatever. Like, the Zealots traded somewhat inefficiently. And now we're in, like, what looks like a regular mid-game PVZ. It's just if you ignore the worker counts, right? Like, you have Corsairs coming, you have Mutalisks on the way. We're just turbo low econ, worker counts in the 20s. Let's go. Scourge coming out to catch the first Corsair, which is huge if the Corsair gets caught up on the Overlord. Citadel of Doom coming out. And see the Scourge are trying to, like, predict where the Corsair runs out from. Corsair runs out from there. So he's going to be able to get the scout off and see that the Zerg is going harder onto Mutalisks, and that's going to be a reason to keep up constant Corsair production. Ooh, my god, that was so close to getting some damage on there. But, yep, the Corsair gets in, gets the full scout of the Zerg, which is what you want to get with that first Corsair. And then he'll probably just skedaddle out because there really isn't any, like, damage a single Corsair can get on its own that's worth it because Scourge will pop and kill it, or that's enough Mutalisks to fight Corsairs. Yeah, I guess Protoss is just going to try to get into sort of like a Corsair Speed Zealot timing attack. But again, like, you just need a lot of Corsairs to fight a lot of Mutalisks, because at a certain point, you get enough Mutalisks and Scourge that you can kind of straight up fight Corsairs, as long as the Protoss doesn't have an absurd Corsair count. And Protoss does not have an absurd Corsair count. Yeah, so we can see where they're going to dive in on this mineral line, one-shot a few probes, dive out, and I mean, Protoss, like, Rue is just getting a bunch of cannons here. Which is good. Cannons are good against Mutalisks, but Mutas are, like, also a pretty good unit. so they can just kill the cannons going on. Okay, Scourge. Oh, this has been Jesus Christ. I don't have any words for that. That just, like, I'm sorry if you play Zerg and you had to see that, because, I'm sure that one hurt a lot. Jesus Christ. And he's making more Mutalisks. He's making 6 more Mutalisks! Words. The Zerg did indeed got. And it's like... Jesus. Okay, Queen's Nest. Zerg is going to go up to Hive Tech. That's good. Protoss getting Templar Tech. That's good. It's just... Why build 6 more Mutalisks? Why? What is the purpose of these? You know your opponent has cannons. You know your opponent is building more cannons, and your opponent has Corsairs. What is the purpose of this? Why? And it's not even like, oh my god, I was gonna say, it's not like he's committing to the Mutalisks, right? Because he's switching to Lurker Hydra or whatever, but then he's building 3 more Mutalisks! So that's 5 Corsairs. And so they'll just fly around and kill Overlords, I guess. I don't know where the Hydras are at. They aren't anywhere in the thing. So they're gonna kill this Overlord. We have a couple Scourge coming out. None of the Corsairs have plus any upgrades. So that's 2 Overlords dead. Supply block here from Whiskey Dingo. And the Spore Colony is spawning. And the Corsairs... Yeah, so they're gonna get killed immediately by that Scourge. Yeah. I don't remember exactly how many Corsairs you need to be able to successfully fight Scourge. I think you need 6 for the one-shot, so that you're doing 30 damage. But I mean, okay, Dragoon's coming out. No Robo, so... With no Robo, I'm not sure how you're gonna, like, scan the Lurkers. Yeah, these Dragoons are gonna have to kill a Photon Cannon. That just isn't gonna work. Again, +1 is absolutely busted. Zerg, I don't think Zerg has any upgrades. No, they have +1 as well, so never mind. So, yeah, I mean, Rue's just going full Gateway Man, right? Like, just full... This is, he's unleashing the special tactics. He's getting pure Gateway, Zealots, Dragoons. Lurkers will come and then kill him, I guess. I don't know, like, right? There's no Robo or Detectors or anything like that. Well, I guess the Lurkers can't kill... Jesus Christ, why are you getting so many Mutalisks? It's like the counter mind games. Like, the Mutas were countered, and then because the Mutas were countered, he went harder on the Mutalisks, and Rue hasn't been continually making Corsairs to keep countering the Mutalisks. So at this point, we're at a point where we have enough Mutas where it's like the Corsairs are just gonna fucking die, because Dragoons can't fight Mutalisks. Dragoons suck. And then with fucking Adrenalings on the way, Dragoons are just gonna suck even more. What? Fucking... Sure, cool, I guess. This is definitely a game of StarCraft Brood War TM 1997 remastered 2016. 1998. More Dragoons. Alright, a lot of Scourge, a lot of Mutalisks. Please don't do what you just did the last time you did the Whiskey Dingo. I'm begging you. I'm begging you, do not just send all these Mutalisks into cannon fire so they can get mopped up by 5 Corsairs. Don't do it. Don't do it! Oh fuck, he's gonna do it. It's not worth it. That is 1,100 minerals and gas. It will all die. Okay, Dada. It is not going to be a Guardian morph. He does not... Okay, he does not have the Greater Spire. That would be very funny if he got the Greater Spire, though. Alright. We have, yeah, 6 Corsairs, 7 Corsairs, so the Scourge will get one shot here, so that shouldn't be too much of an issue. And now all the Dragoons. Let's just watch the fireworks. How many Dragoons will it take to fight less than a control group of Zerglings? I feel like the game speaks for itself. Oh, hey. Wow, he actually managed to kill the cannons. I feel like the game speaks for itself there. I don't think he got any probe kills, but he did kill a bunch of photon cannons, and there's some traps laid for the Corsairs if they try to move out on not an A move. And we just have more Hydras being made. Another hatchery. Lurkers on the ramp. And Protoss is gonna go establish their third base now. 18 minutes into the game, we're just now getting this first base mined out. Both players at a pretty okay worker count, 41 and 40. I mean, it's relatively okay. It's... Again, let's just watch. Oh, hey! Oh, look at that. Hold on, it is a Greater Spire. Hell yeah. Let's see some fucking Guardians. Imagine if they actually did these just morph into Devourers. That'd be pretty great. That'd be swell. Oh yeah, this base is dead. This base is dead as hell. Jesus Christ, these are like assassinlings. They just ran right by it. Zerg, balanced race. Yeah, so we have a lot of Zealots coming out. Again, +2 attack. I think Zerg still only has +1 armor, but +2 armor is about to be researched, so that will put the Zerglings back on parity with the Zealots. And really, it's when the Zerg is at 3-3 with armor and melee attack, is really just honestly just 3 armor, is when Adrenalings become the most annoying unit in the game. It basically becomes nearly impossible to actually fight them straight up. Like, you need Reavers or Archons or just something else. Okay. Now here's the big move out from the Protoss. Here's the... I don't know. Whiskey Dingo has been trading a lot of Zerglings, so I think they've been really larva inefficient. But... that's a lot of Zerglings, and more are coming. And we just have more Zerglings. 6 Hydras in production. We have a Lurker... Oh, here's where most of this army is at. And they're kind of coming from the flank, and that's actually huge because all the Zealots are getting on the sunken colonies. These Dragoons are just completely vulnerable to the Zerglings, which are all clumping up in the back and not actually getting any surface damage. Now that the Hydras are coming up, this is where the damage is really going to start. The Mutas are diving straight into the main, and while this army at the front is getting killed, the Mutas in the back are getting murdered by photon cannons, because photon cannons are real good. No storms thrown down, so this entire army does get wasted. The Corsairs were with the army, so all they're doing is just killing Overlords and then dying themselves. And so really it's just one macro cycle for Whiskey to replace these Overlords. And there's the Guardian morph, right? The Corsairs have fully been cleared, and that means that the Guardians are 100% safe to start killing these probes indiscriminately. Again, one macro cycle of Overlords will get that supply right back up to normal. And then you just start spamming more Zerglings and Hydralisks. Protoss is finally getting their third base up, but again, it's gonna... if these Zerglings just run across the map and kill it again, that would be huge. And honestly, it's kind of free. Especially now that these Guardians are finally like kind of in hold position here, taking out probes. And there they are. Again, this is just free for the Zerg. Another denial on the third base is huge. These units will gum up the main army. While the Zerglings, again, Zergling good unit, kills the probe there and denies that third base. This has been a great job, honestly. And the Guardians down to 22 probes. And that is the writing is on the wall. Protoss GG's and Whiskey Dingo takes the game. That was a really fucking sick game, I gotta say. It started off really weird. I thought we were gonna have just kind of an awkward game, but then it turns out like Whiskey Dingo, just Zerg being everywhere all the time, makes it's kind of like that mind game to like fluster the opponent, right? And as a Protoss, I've been on the receiving end of that, where like you have Zerglings attacking you here, you have Mutalisks at your Nat, and like it is taxing your attention and where you can be. And that's very effective. So that was our last game in Group 10. We only had 2. And Whiskey Dingo is going to take it. So they won both of the games that were played.